I got a float to me.
So is that what they're calling swag now? It's like you float?
So.
All right.
He's got who knew Drake May had a float to him?
All right, different type of float.
I'm happy to hear that. And time for the Curtis Camp query of the day. Curtis, what is it today?
On the heels of the sound we heard from Kay Adams and Robert Kraft, and just a quick aside, it would be beneficial to the people that cover you on a day-to-day basis to become available for them and not just people that fly in for a day, but that's neither here nor there. Has Robert Kraft's treatment of Bill Belichick impacted your relationship with the Patriots as a fan? And I ask this because I work with several people, Greg most notably, that has genuinely been bothered by the manner in which Kraft has attempted to rewrite history after the departure of Bill Belichick.
It's unseemly to me.
Yeah, so I'm just curious.
Unnecessary and unseemly.
Both are exactly right because it was always going to be viewed as the Trinity.
Yeah,
they were always going to be together, and then as what often happens in these cases is the divorce is ugly and everybody tries to get their own side. But to me, of all three, the behavior and the dismissal of Kraft to Bill has been unseemly.
Yeah, I mean, prior to the dynasty, I felt like it was handled the right way. And you said it, Curtis, in general, people who look at these kinds of things have divided the credit up between the three of them, and
right.
and so I don't know why some have felt the need to try to get more credit. It doesn't necessarily affect my relationship that I would have with like how I feel about the franchise, but
right.
it bothers me because it's childish kind of.
It's affected mine for sure,
really?
But I respect Robert Kraft. I think he's one of the most brilliant businessmen out there, and what he does, whether it's Israel or within the Boston community, is unbelievable. Like I think the Krafts are awesome, but how they dealt with this situation in particular, especially during a time when Bill Belichick and Tom Brady seem to have really repaired their relationship and become more chummy, and the way those two speak about each other so glowingly in that time that they spent together in New England was so special for them. To have Robert Kraft kind of on the outside now, being the one that's going after Bill over and over again for no reason, to me makes me feel off.
It doesn't bother me one bit about the way I view the Patriots. I still want to see them be successful. I still want to see them win.
We all want to see them be successful.
Right. But that was the question. Wasn't that the question on how I view the Patriots now?
Yeah.
I think the way they handled it was egos getting in the way, and everybody.
You include Bill in that?
Yeah. And I think everybody wants.
Because you don't think Bill should respond. Like when Robert Kraft says that he took a risk on Bill Belichick, you don't think Bill should reach out and make sure that he gets to state his piece on that?
No. I don't mind him.
State your piece, rejoin. Hootie, please.
I don't mind him, stating his piece. Like, if somebody throws shots at you, I don't mind you throwing shots back at them. I just think that, that's what it became, right? It became, Bill throwing little subliminal shots at, we were like the 31st team when it came to spending or whatever he said. I don't remember exactly. Yeah. But that
was while he was still employed.
Yeah, while he was still employed, right? So it's all about them taking shots and egos. And we know how it is. That's just human nature. Everybody wants credit, but everybody wants to be viewed as, I get a little bit more credit than everybody else when it comes to us being successful.
But Tom doesn't do that, though.
You don't think so? I mean, he throws his little petty dicks when he says,
I don't get that vibe from him at all.
Me neither.
So when the guy goes, you know what? The coaches do a good job, but at the end of the day, it's really about the players on the football field. That's not a little. That's not a little like when he was doing that broadcasting, and I forget who he was talking about. You remember he said that?
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like he wants to take a shot at Bill Belichick for the success. Like the way in which, whether it was on his podcast that he did for a bit with, I'm blanking on his name right now, Jim Gray, or when he was on Howard Stern, even the way in which he gets choked up when talking about his time with Bill Belichick, that's how it should be. To do an entire series, and the Krafts can say all they want that they had nothing to do with the editing or the final cut. It just did not put them in a good light.
No, and I agree. I agree with you.
I think Belichick says something similar. He's like, we can lose the game, but the players win it. He said that like 1,000 times.
I don't think I was going to say Tom Petty. Tom Brady has not been petty in the least.
I mean, he throws his little digs.
No, I completely disagree with you.
Well, you could disagree, but they're out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't just say, like, I get it is about the players, but the coaches.
But if you're confident in what you bring to an organization,
right,
then you know people see it and understand it, and you don't need to run around with a loudspeaker projecting it to everybody. That to me is the issue. Tom Brady knows what his value was,
right,
what he's responsible for, and he doesn't feel the need to go around telling everybody about
No, I'm not saying that like he's out front petty, but the fact that you throw, like, there's always little shades of things that, guys do. And that's just part of it. We talked about some of the things where Tom, said back in the day. It's when Bill goes, hey, I want you to be like everybody else, and I don't want you to have Alex Guerrero having his own, thing going on. I think those three guys have such big egos, and rightfully so, because they have accomplished so much in their careers.
Right. Bill hated when he had close people work for him, unlike the kids that worked on Bill's staff. Oh, wait.
Right, but that's another part of it, right? That becomes part of Bill's ego, right? And
that would be hypocritical.
Right, but they all have it, and that's the problem.
Well, none of them have winning without Tom, and that's a fact.
But Tom's not here without Bill.
Well, you never know.
And Tom, we do know.
No, who was the guy that passed away? Rabine.
Yeah, but guess what? If Bill doesn't say midway through that 2001 season, if Bill doesn't go, I'm going with Tom Brady as my quarterback.
Over Drew Bledsoe.
Well, you guys think you win a Super Bowl with Drew.
Well, we do, but we might not know.
Wiggy did. I didn't.
Yeah,
me and Ty did.
Me and Ty Law did. Right, but we might.
Ty back on the show?
Yes, this fall.
Excellent.
Right.
Ty Tuesday's back on this show.
I love you, Greg. You know you my dog.
Ty's the man. It was Bill who chose to go with Tom Brady over Drew Bledsoe, who had just got one of the highest contracts in the NFL. And that's what ultimately led Tom Brady to being in the position that he – and I'm not taking anything away from Tom. Don't get it twisted. But if you don't – like Bill Parcells, if Bill Parcells doesn't give me an opportunity, I might not be where I was in my NFL career.
Do you think, just going back, and that's true, Wiggy, you know better than I would, and I'll take you at your word. The Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick divorces, do you think that impacts? And I agree, Kraft should be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not debating that. But the voters, the 50 voters, do you think they view how the acrimony, the discord, the inability to maintain relationships with the two of the 5 best coaches in NFL history, with Parcells going to the Jets in a very ugly way, and then Belichick coming the way he left it here? I don't know. I mean,
no, because Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame, and look at his relationship with
Jimmy Johnson.
With Jimmy Johnson,
that's right.
So it's not like
I'm just trying to think of anything they would use.
I don't know, like. The thing I would say, I don't know what they could use. I just think that they're morons when it comes to putting people in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And you should just look at the guy and what he accomplished as a player on the field or as an owner, what his team accomplished.
Okay, quick camp query of the day for me, because you just had me thinking about it. If Bill is successful this season, what percentage of the credit do you give to Jordan?
I give her like 95%. Let's be honest.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. She's the main reason why behind Bill. Let's be honest.
I'm just waiting.
Behind? Is she behind, or where is she positioned?
I mean, when it comes
sometimes she's on his feet, like in a mermaid costume.
She's making sure that his carrots and corn are separated when it comes to soup. So
it's blended.
Yeah,
we'll see how good she is for the UNC doc that's coming out any day.
So Courtney.